Hello everyone and welcome to episode 80 of my Guild Wars 2 Let's Play series, where this is a really fun episode because level 80 of course is the maximum level in Guild Wars 2, and we're now at episode 80, but we are still a little bit away from reaching level 80 ourselves. For today I want to continue our personal story in chapter 7 of the personal story and then do some achievements at the end of the episode, where we have the story mission Tower Down, which is related to the decision we made in chapter 6, where our biggest regret is to let an innocent die. So we're going to be exploring a story step that might relate to our greatest fear, where we need to go to the Splintered Coast, which is located here in southwestern Sparkfly Fen, which we explored this area on our Human Guardian, so we do have to run there on our Savari Necromancer, where this is a very popular area because of course we fought to the world boss Tequato the Sunless here, who is a lieutenant of the Elder Dragon Zaitan, which is kind of cool to see, and we can go ahead and explore some stories related to Zaitan, but not necessarily Tequato, and just more generic Risen. We have the Acern laboratory here of United Arcanist Lab, and we have our story mission right here that we can go ahead and enter. And I'm going to guess there's going to be a decently cool loading screen art. It's kind of a generic Acern lab, but so cool in its own right. We can see like 3 waypoints right there in the right side of that screen. But we have this group of Vigil right here with a pack Marmix, and if we come up here we have Demolitionist Ton.
Time to make some noise. I've been looking forward to meeting you, Commander. I told Traherne I needed the big guns for this mission, and here you are. Welcome to the party.
Demolition is serious work, soldier. But there's nothing wrong with enjoying your work. So, what are we lighting up today?
That's the spirit. Like I always tell my wife, Sira, any lump can hack bad guys to death, but it takes skill and style to turn them into craters and dust. Our preliminary targets are 3 Orient towers that are flooding the region with undead nasties. We can't hold this area until we stop the influx. I'll handle the explosives. Your job is to get me to the targets and keep the enemy off me while I plant the charges. Then we drop back, settle in, and enjoy this spectacle pyrotechnical.
So we have our mission where we have Demolitionist Ton here.
Char-conditioned animals. Nothing phases them. Explosions, massacres, rude language.
Every member of the Legions is trained for war, from a Paradis loader down to the lowliest pack animal.
Easy there, Iron Pants. Meant it as a compliment.
Where we can escort this group and Ton to some nearby Risen towers just so we can reinforce this area and drive back some of the Risen threat here as we approach Ore and the legendary location that we are currently founding right now, where I think as we do this we have like different pact builders and soldiers basically like claiming the grounds of Fort Trinity and building up a fortress that we will see soon enough. Where we have Crusader Gutfire here, who is kind of just like a random Crusader hanging out with us, and then we have Demolitionist Ton, who is basically the main character for these next few story steps that we are participating in, where he's a very cool guy, and of course he likes explosions. So when it comes to anything to do with explosions, or just like explosives in general, around Tyria and in service of the Pact, we can call upon this guy to help us out. But he mentions that he has his wife, Sira, who is another cool character that we can meet up with as well. And I don't think we've met her in the story. We might have, but she is a packed medic. So we kind of have this like fun dynamic here where we have like someone who is in a situation where he would likely get injured because he's dealing with like explosives and he's kind of going on the front lines of like fighting the Risen and potentially other forces that the Pact have to deal with, where he's likely to get injured and whatnot. Where Sira is a medic, so she presumably has probably helped Ton and healed Ton a little bit over the years as he's injured himself in a variety of ways. And when it comes to this story mission in particular, I always found it very cool because we are in Sparkfly Fen right now, and we are going to some areas that we will recognize that we have explored, but we're kind of just like exploring an area where there isn't too much that we do around here. We have like some objectives around here for map completion and whatnot, and it is an area you can run through, but it's not necessarily an area that you spend a lot of time in. And like this cave in particular is probably not one that many players ever actually go in, so it's kind of cool to come in through here during the story and to just like see this cave and to see the areas around here where there are risen towers.
Okay, there's the first tower. I'll set the charges. You keep the locals at bay.
So we have the first tower here, which I think we actually see in the open world, and there might be an event related to this. So it's kind of fun that we're doing a story mission that also has an open world event where this tower is consistently a threat, but we need to defend town. We're here to put down a massive explosion.
Still got all your limbs? Come on, more towers awaiting.
We do still have all of our limbs, and we can go ahead and continue forward where there's another tower down the beach and a ton of risen blocking our way. A massive abomination gonna charge this way. Big group of risen, so you know what that means. Time for some AoE attacks. And ultimately pretty easy to go through. Where it's kind of fun to think about all the different groups of pack soldiers that are like out on missions doing things, where we have this group of 4 pack soldiers plus ourselves and a pack marmix that came to this area for this specific mission, and it's probably like, you know, top secret missions going on, recovering specific artifacts, and just, you know, supply missions across Tyria and whatnot. Because when you think about the world of Tyria as a whole, and if you think about like the realistic structure of the pact, there's a lot of stuff going on. A lot of people doing different things to just keep operations running smoothly or running at all. I'm sure the pact has a ton of janitors that have to clean through all the like waste that the pact produces, both bodily and otherwise.
Secondary target acquired. I love this military talk. It makes blowing stuff up sound so classy.
So, time for another tower, and there are some risen around here. Let's see if any of them attack. I feel like this brute is going to attack. I really let Taunt do his thing.
The fuse is lit. Not literally, of course, but there's another tower. But we have to go through the cave to get there. Let's go.
Let's go through the cave, so let's run back this way. Yet another abomination attempting to ruin our mission here alongside a few other risen. But I love these ruins over here. They look very cool, and I love kind of like the trees that are like blocking them a little bit, but then we have this like pillar on this side of the trees. We've got a giant boulder here just hanging out. Another smaller boulder. Where there's just so many details in Tyria that I love so much. One more throw down and some experience for us. And we have to go pretty far to get to the next tower actually, where we could probably just run along the beach a little bit more, but this is definitely more interesting to come through this area. You can get a good view of these ruins here. I think when we came here in the open world, there is a chest that sits right on those ruins, which is fun. I just always love seeing random chests around the world that you can like go out of your way to run towards and pick up. Though they are never ever really good to pick up, I guess. You know, there's an old Guild Wars 2 meme with like 2 blues and a green where you like spend a bunch of time like completing a jumping puzzle or going out of your way to get one of those chests, and all they have inside is 2 pieces of blue equipment and 1 piece of green equipment, and that's like a grand total of 3 silver. One abomination there we just dealt with, and another abomination here, but we can see a horrifying sight with a bunch of the wild Hunt Valiants who are hanging out here in the open world are dead because of this abomination, and hopefully they'll get reinforced, but it seems like this entire outpost has just been wiped out, and we can resurrect this one tactician here, which is cool. But of course we have this giant tower here, the third of the 3 towers that we are trying to destroy, and there are a bunch of risen, including a veteran risen preserver who is a very, very cool looking risen, definitely very different looking compared to some of the other thralls and brutes that we've been dealing with. AoE heals and removes conditions, so we definitely want to like try to kill this person first because he would heal up his allies, though I don't think his heal is ever too good, but still. It is the optimal decision. Where turning back around, there are 2 dead wild hunt individuals there now, so let's go ahead and deal with this preserver really quickly, and then maybe we can resurrect them back up. There we go. Let's let Ton go in and do his thing.
Special delivery for Orient Tower. Anybody home?
Frightened
No?
child.
Then I'll just leave it here.
Let's leave the explosive there. As he runs through that grass right there.
Almost done. One more bomb, and then we do the dance of explosive joy.
Clear the beach of undead. So we have killed or destroyed the tower here, and now we can kill a bunch of undead. So we have a group kind of forming right here. Go ahead, throw down all of our abilities. Can use our shroud form for some extra damage here. Though occasionally it is nice to hold on to your shroud if you get low on health, because it serves as a secondary health bar, of course. And there's the last undead down, and we can regroup with Ton.
Now that's a fireworks show. That was only a warm-up, though. Things are about to get really interesting. The next target is a huge Orient bone ship that's polluting the waters of the Mire Sea. It's a big job. If we use normal explosives, we'd need to fill the ship's hold with them just to make a dent. Very impractical. That hulk is going to require some serious flash and bang. I've got a line on 2 high-performance combustibles we can use. Since you outrank me, let me defer to your choice of explosives. We'll send that tub to the bottom of the sea. I'll give you a full briefing when you're ready.
So we have 2 different choices here where we can speak with Ton to pick one of 2 different explosives where we can get what we need from an unfriendly source or a friendly one. There's an Inquest lab nearby, as well as my old mentor Zop's crew. Either should have what we need. I need more details. No problem. What do you need to know? What does the Inquest crew have for us? Their work on bomb prototypes parallels my own. They have more resources, so they've made more progress. I'm confident they have something I can use. I have another question. What does Zop's crew have for us? They've been researching the interior of Mount Maelstrom, where they've harvested and captured geothermal energies in a device that I can adapt to our purpose. I think I'm ready to decide. So out of these 2, we can pick either one and we can go do either one of these story missions. And I think let's work with the friend Zop, because I think going into the core of Mount Maelstrom sounds very fun. So we can pick that, and we have successfully completed Tower Down, where we get some bags of loot. And now we can meet Ton at Mount Maelstrom. Some decent and cool loading screen art here resembling Mount Maelstrom itself, the outer edges of it, where we are going towards the core of the mountain where we did fight the Mega Destroyer, and we can see Ton here and a couple of golems with researcher Zop in one.
Hope you're ready for bad news. I just learned from Zop here that his whole team went ashes and embers on him.
Hey, that's my crew you're talking about. They're going to be extremely hard to replace.
Sorry, I tend to get over-focused when I'm on a mission. Tell us what happened.
We were completing the extraction when Max's suit malfunctioned. He burst into flames and dropped the flame core device. Then lava elementals attacked us. We withdrew hastily. If you want our flame core, you'll need one of these special golem rigs. Without them, you won't last 30 seconds.
We need that core. It's the heart of the explosive device I want to build. All right, Commander, suit up. It's about to get real hot.
The mission must go on, and we have suited up now, where we are in a cave, and presumably we built this with a box of scraps, or Zop specifically, where we have special abilities here. So we are not going to be using our main weapon abilities, but we still have access to our utility skills, it looks like, where we can punch, launch, fist.
Everywhere. But Zop made these rigs especially for this job. Should be safe enough.
And we got rocket jump, where it's actually a leap ability. Water cannon, spray the foes with blasts of water. And then reinforce, engage the hazmat suit's self-repair mechanism. So this is going to be good to heal us up, and we can also heal out of combat, which is nice. Let's go ahead and use this ability. So I guess we were too far away. Might have bugged there a little bit. We have a water cannon here. Doesn't deal too much damage, probably not worth it, but this, the launch fist, deals a ton of damage, so that's going to be very nice. Let's just kill this fire really quickly. And then maybe let's use our rocket jump on this ember here. Let's try to aim. He's moving. Just gotta lead a little bit. And it looks like it doesn't deal damage, or I just missed him, I suppose. We can finish him off there. That did not deal as much damage as I thought it was. Maybe I got a crit on the first time I used that. And see these cannons around here. And it's very interesting that we have to be in hazmat suits while down here, because in the open road we do not have to be. I wonder if it's like specifically right now we need the suits because of something going on with the mountain. And let's leap over here maybe. Yeah, I like landed directly on him and it dealt no damage. Where it deals damage, where you land and where you take off from. And it looks like it didn't do either. Let's use some of our utility skills. It looks like we might actually die here. And yeah, I just full on died. So we might have to come back down here. Oh, it looks like I'm alive. Let's engage the repair. And we are invulnerable during that time. So that's actually very nice. It just fully repairs us. I definitely got in a bit over my head here where there's just a ton of them attacking me. And it looks like we stay invulnerable for a time after using the heal as well. So that's just like very nice. We just have to live for like 15 seconds and then we can go ahead and use that again. Let's come over here. It's kind of funny to see the golem become spectral because of our necromancer abilities. Okay, I see the orb here, the flame core device.
I got what we came for. Temperature readings are off the charts, but we're safe inside these rings. Wait, suit malfunction. The core's magnetic field is mucking with my motivators. I can't move. I can fix it, but oh, Lex, there's a huge spike in the energy readings. Something big is coming out of the volcano, and I don't think it's coming to thank us. This is bad. I can't ditch my suit or I'll be crispified. I'll have to fight that thing alone. Hang on. I'm detecting massive power surges from those flaming orbs. That's probably what's giving it cohesion. Take them out and that thing will disperse.
Okay, so we have, looks like 3 fiery orbs here that we can go ahead and destroy. And we have this massive greater fire elemental here, which is similar to the one that we fought when we were at like a level 15 Asura in Metrica province. Let's sneak around this way. Just gonna heal up and then leap, except the leap did not work for us. Let's try that again. And let's just throw these down on the ground. Okay, and then we need to get to the other side. Should I try to go through the lava? Let's do this. Let's sneak here, and then let's use the heal ability. And we're going to go invulnerable. It's going to heal us up, except the lava goes through the invulnerability, but then we can leap out again. So I guess that kind of worked for us. It was a little janky there. Let's saunter on out of here. And we need to escape the volcano. I think we could actually come this way. Let's go ahead and leap because Ton is going to just catch up to me. Where we need to go up that ramp, I believe. So we do have to come around here, except there are no fire elementals here, which is nice. And maybe we could just make a little bit of a shortcut and leap. Nope, we cannot do that. Let's go ahead and sneak around this way. Maybe... doesn't really have good vertical, but it has some nice horizontal movement.
Whew! I expected things to get hot, but not that hot. Thanks for bailing me out.
Just watching my partner's back and giving him the chance to collect the flame core. You got it, right?
Oh, I got it. This is just what we need to send that bone ship straight to the bottom of the Mire Sea.
Then I'll meet you there as soon as I've finished prepping the device.
I'll have to introduce you to Sarah. You'd like her. She's a pack soldier too. A medic. That's why we make such a great pair. I blow up enemies, and she patches up allies.
And we got some new stuff here that we can pick. Maybe I'll pick this new coat. So we got a seer code now, which we have one that is dire stats with toughness, vitality, and condition damage. So it's actually kind of nice for us. Let's go ahead and leave this instance so we can look at what it looks like. Very interesting looking. Where we are in Mount Maelstrom currently, and we have to go to the eastern part of Mount Maelstrom, so it's kind of nice. It's in the same map where we are going out towards the Mire Sea, where we have a massive bone ship to blow up using an explosive that is utilizing the core that we just obtained. What's the best way out of here? Let me just jump up here. Is this an opening? Nope. Maybe we'll do a classic raptor movement where we could come up here and then dismount, and there we go. This very, very cool looking loading screen art. This is so cool. We have some sort of like crack in there and a couple of ships. That's insane. But here's Ton and some others.
Ready when you are, Ton. After all we went through to get this, I can't wait to see it explode.
Then you're in for a treat. We have an unobstructed view of the target from here. Now we simply need to plant the bomb, get clear, and flip the switch. Not that simple means easy. Floating mines surround the ship, the waters are thick with undead sharks, and we're in crate territory. These packed soldiers are here to help protect the detonator, but you and I still have to do all the heavy lifting. Or, to be accurate, the heavy swimming. Let's hit the water. The sooner we're done splashing around, the sooner we see that bone ship go boom.
Undead shark infested waters. Let's go ahead and double check our equipment here. We have a decent spear and a horrible trident, so let's make sure we only use our spear while we're down here. And we have a ton of mines here. But I love how this underwater area looks. Some resin. The mines are giving off some sort of like pollution or whatever. Let's just sneak past all of them. There's a shark. Some tiny undead sharks. Where we might have to end up killing this one, or we could let him pass. Why don't we utilize some stealth in this mission so we don't have to do a ton of underwater combat? We have this giant Inquest base here, and it looks like the undead are just kind of taking it over right now. The Inquest aren't doing a very good job at... Oh, we just took a lot of damage. The Inquest aren't doing a very good job at defending their area. But that's okay for us. Clear out the undead so Ton can set the charges. We have a giant undead shark here. Let's go ahead and destroy this one and another one. And we just got stunned out of the wazoo. And again. They're pretty easy to deal with though. And those are the two undead we had to take care of. So we have the ship here. Ton swimming to a weak point.
Delivered. Now let's paddle ourselves out of here on the double.
Okay, so we just snuck in. Let's go ahead and sneak back out. I don't have my warhorn equipped while we are underwater. Oh, that explosive's about to go off. It's kind of fun that we have this whole storyline related to explosives, and we see the Risen using some as well. It's kind of a nice like duality. Where we just need to get back to the detonator safe and sound. Let's ignore all of the mines here. That Arisen shark is patrolling the waters that way. So if we come to this edge here, we have to make sure we don't go out of bounds of the mission, but we can sneak past everything here, which I guess we could have done that going in as well instead of going straight through the middle. I see shore, and we can go ahead and breathe some fresh air. We have a few different soldiers here hanging out with us. Crusader Gilly, Prior Scholar, a Whispers Agent.
Hold on to your ears, everyone. This is going to be my masterpiece. Wait, something's wrong. The detonator is showing red. The connections were perfect. Something must be knocked out of position.
Sir, we have crate inbound, closing fast, and they look like they mean business.
All right, I'll reset the charges on the ship. You keep the crate off the detonator.
I don't like leaving you unprotected. Between the crate and the sharks.
I can handle the cartilaginous cretins that are still out there. And the crate are focused on this position. They won't even notice me. That ship has to go down. I'll signal when the bomb is ready and I'm clear. When the detonator goes green, throw the switch and enjoy the show.
So some crate are attacking our location. Let's go ahead and let Ton do what he does best and what he loves to do and fix that bomb so we can blow up the ship. And we just need to defend this location against the crate here too, right here. Of course, a massive crate structure, and the crate could attack the undead if they wanted to, but they're going to attack us instead, who are fighting the undead, which, you know, doesn't really make sense on their part, but, you know, they're just evil through and through. It is cool to just see this massive ship on the waters. I really love how it looks. It's very, very cool looking. And of course the environment around here is pretty cool looking as well. A variety of inquest bases and some packed bases. And then this undead ship, we can see the Savari base way off in the distance. And a massive crate base, which is just a bunch of normal ships, and then we have this undead ship off in the waters. So Ton has given the signal. Let's go ahead and activate this. So it looks like Ton successfully fixed whatever was wrong with the bomb. And supposedly he's supposed to be back by now, where he went out there to fix it, and he should have been swimming back and then give the signal, where he is not currently back. But we have successfully destroyed the ship. Let's go ahead and swim out here because Ton might be in trouble and we will have to help him out.
I see something. My gods, it's Ton! He's dead. I was sure he signaled us. Was the explosion bigger than he expected? We have to report this. You head back to shore. I'll bring in Ton.
And the story mission is complete, where we have destroyed the bone ship, but unfortunately, an innocent died. Alright, let's go ahead, get our bags of loot, and now we have the story mission, the Battle of Fort Trinity, where we can report to Traherne at Fort Trinity, and we can go ahead and begin our story mission there in the Straits of Devastation, a brand new map, which we're not going to explore for a couple more episodes because we have 2 other story steps that we can go ahead and venture through on 2 other characters, where I'm going to do that in the next 2 episodes, and then we can go check out Fort Trinity and the beginning areas of the Straits of Devastation, where I want to spend a little bit of time at the end of this episode working on some more achievements. Where I did, you know, Biku's Empty Belly and Jotun Slayer, and I think I was working on like Minotaur Slayer a bit last episode, where today I want to come into our general tree here, or not our general tree at all. I want to come down to our collections, into basic collections, and I want to find Uncanny Canner, where this is an achievement that will reward only 3 achievement points as we collect 11 different items from around Tyria, but we get a very, very special reward here, an Uncanny Jar, which is a 20 slot bag, which if you look at our inventory, we have a 12 slot, an 8 slot, 8 slot, and an 8 slot bag, so we could definitely use a 20 slot bag. So let's go ahead and spend some time working on this collection. We might complete it now, or we might complete it in the future. We have already gotten a Jar of Lost Souls, which is a random drop from the Ascalonian Catacombs, and we can also buy it on the trading post for about 2 silver if you have not already gotten it. Where I think the Jar of Bees might be the hardest one to get, so let's go ahead and look for it first. Where we need to come to Queensdale, and we need to do a very special event in Queensdale, or hope that that special event is completed. Where I really enjoy this event a lot, and you can get this item from completing it and for this achievement, which makes this event even more special. But over by Claypool, we can find this area right over here, where we have some beehives, and the hives are just here in this random area of the world, and we have this random event that happens every now and then where bears are going to attack the hives, and we have to defend this area from them. And it looks like the event is not currently up, and it hasn't happened recently, so maybe let's just hang out here for a minute. We do have this like vista and point of interest we could grab really quickly if we wanted. And then we could come back every now and then to check if this event is up or has been completed. So let's go ahead and go for our next one, which we need to complete this task over here, which I've already done on another character, but let's just do it on this character since I need to anyways. Where we have this task here, where we're keeping the drakes at bay and there are people stealing from the drakes and whatnot. And then we can also collect some frogs around here in order to make frog pheromone to throw at the poachers or to set drake traps. And then we can buy 2 items from this vendor for our achievement: a frog in a jar, which is a fine quality item, and a frog in a jar, which is a masterwork quality item. We have to get both of them, even though they're pretty similar. One just has better stats. Next, we have firefly in a jar, but I guess we could come back over here and double check this really quickly, where I see Hannah running away here, and I see some hungry bears attacking this place. So it looks like the event is up, so let's go ahead and help out here, where we are actually probably going to level up to level 76 as we do this, which is fun. And we need to defend the beehives. So let's make sure the bears can't destroy them. Normally you only have to fight 10 bears, but because of there being 2 players here, it does scale up a little bit. Or less than 10 actually. Where there is this event completed. Where Fiona Hastings is very happy, and we can get our level up reward, where we have unlocked the story for Honor of the Waves, which is very cool. So we now have 2 more dungeons that we can do actually when we return to doing dungeons again. We have Citadel Flame and Honor of the Waves, and at level 78 we can do Crucible of Eternity. But Fiona Hastings is now a merchant, so let's go ahead and buy this jar of bees, where if we come into our collection tree here, we can find this again, and I think we have to maybe double click this to use it. Yes, and then we can go ahead and throw it to let loose an angry swarm of bees, which is very fun. But now we can go ahead and do the firefly in a jar, which is actually going to take us back to Bloodtide Coast. But this time we're going to be in the southwestern corner of the map, which we have to run to. Where we have this task here: help shore up Hylic defenses, which we've done. So let's clear some of the Arisen Thrall and reset some of the traps around here. And then we can chat with this explorer, and we can get Firefly in a jar, which brings us to the 3rd tier of this collection as we completed the first 2. So we only have 6 more things to get, but we have gotten 2 achievement points so far. So it's kind of nice that we gain some achievement points as we progress through the achievements, instead of just getting 3 once you complete tier 3. For some people don't like that and some people like that, and I think largely I actually like that a lot, because if there's some achievements that you only want to complete part of, you do get some rewards for only completing part of those achievements. But next we have 2 items here: Undead Ash in a jar, which is actually something we get from Sparkfly Finn, which we are right next to here. So let's go ahead and run through this portal, and we need to complete a certain task in the center of the map over here. This quest right over here, where there are a ton of Risen attacking this place. So let's go ahead, help them out. We can get this point of interest and complete this task. Task complete. Let's go ahead and buy, we can actually buy sun beads here, which are important for making Hylic themed weapons, which we can do for another collection. But we can go ahead and get the Undead Ash in a jar, which we only needed 1 type. Oh, there's actually 2 types, never mind. Where we have, here's the other one, let's buy that as well. So there is 2 more, and next we need an empty honey pot, which we have this task here that we can go ahead and do around Victor's Point, a very fun little Norn area. And we do have this event that we can do, so let's go ahead and start this, where we can go kill this ram over here, and then we can just deal with any threats around here and throw snowballs at the kids playing. And here we can buy a fine level empty honey pot, and we don't have an uncommon level one since this is such a low level area. They haven't really introduced green quality items yet. Next we can go ahead and get a jar of ooze, and also a lightning jar, which seems like it's kind of the same deal as the empty honey pot. A jar of ooze actually comes from 2 different areas, one in Metrical Province and one in Caledon Forest, which we've actually completed everything in Caledon Forest. So let's come to the Verdance, and we need to talk to Pack Master Danador over here. where it's very interesting that this person sells ooze given the fact that there's no oozes around here and that it's being sold by 2 characters instead of just 1, so it's like kind of less of a unique item. But let's go ahead and buy this jar of ooze. We could also buy tiny sharpening stone and some tasty cake in order to buff us up a little bit, but now we need to get the lightning jar, which we will now have to go to Metrica province, and I haven't explored too much of this, but I think if we come over here it'll be a little bit closer because we need to go to the Artagon woods where we have this power plant here, which we have done this task for, of course, and we can go ahead and just deal with a bunch of stuff around here, activate some of this, kill some of these mosquitoes. We have an energy distortion here we can disrupt, and so on and so forth. I have completed the task and we are very close to level 77, so maybe I'll just take a quick second. We could run over here. We have some important waypoints that we can unlock, so when we want to return to Metrica province in the future, we can just use these waypoints. I really love like the ruins of this pylon right here. It's very cool looking. As a point of interest, Conduit Tower Scone. And then this ever so important waypoint right here, which is important to get into Brisbane Wildlands or to go to the Fire Elemental World Boss. Let's just loop back around to our task vendor this way, and we have now leveled up to level 77, so we are 3 levels away from level 80, and we can go ahead and pick one of these runes. Let's pick the rune of the Balthazar rune of Balthazar, because that is an important rune in in-game content, and I don't think we'll necessarily use it, but it might be able to sell for a decent amount of money if we check here. We're 4 silver, I guess, which I also got 800 gems. If you remember from last episode, there was that bug going on with Steam accounts, and I happened to play during the 10-hour period because I really wanted to record a Let's Play episode during that time. So I played during that time, and I was kind of like suffering from the bug a little bit, but not really in my case. But they sent out gems to everyone who played during that time. Alright, let's go ahead and buy this lightning jar. So we have one more thing left to collect for Uncanny Canner, which is a very interesting one because it is available exclusively from a map that is added after the initial release of Guild Wars 2, Twister in a Jar, which this is found from the second and third map added to the game after the release of Guild Wars 2, which is during the Living World Season 2. So we can't necessarily get this right now if we are trying to like play in order of everything. So in a way we can't really complete this collection just kind of naturally, where this is really just like a random drop from chests you can open in those areas. We got Friends in High Places, Interlines Arch during the month of February. You've always got a friend at ArenaNet, how cute. We got our In This Friendship Tonic, which we can go ahead and use, and I think this is going to give us some hearts. There we go, we got some hearts coming off of us, which is very cute and a nice subtle addition to our character if we so desire, which I do not desire at this current moment. But since the Twister in a Jar is from a map that I don't want to go to yet, we can actually buy it on the trading post, so we can complete this collection. So Twister in a Jar, can type that in here. Let's go ahead and grab that, and we can then add to collection, which is going to account bind it, and we have now completed Uncanny Canner, and we have gotten a 20 slot bag as a reward, which is very, very nice, plus 3 achievement points, which pushes us further into our grind for 100,000 achievement points, which is not possible to get in modern day Guild Wars 2 as I'm recording this, but maybe 20 years from now that would be different. But we got a 20 slot bag now, and we have this 18 slot leather bag, which I picked up at some point and had no idea that I actually picked up. So let's go ahead and equip this, which is so nice, and that's, and then let's replace one of my 8 slot bags with this 12 slot bag. So now I've been so tight on inventory space, and this isn't too much more inventory space, but it is definitely much nicer, and we have a lot more area to work with here, so we can collect some more items, which we have collected some items as we have done this, where if we come to the Mystic Forge, we can actually throw some of these into the Mystic Forge. We can throw all of them. Let's go ahead and add these 4 because we can't sell them and we can't salvage them, but we can Mystic Forge them. And we got the Sentinel's Perch Scout Medal, which we cannot do anything with, so I guess I'll just delete everything now. Which I guess I should have checked before deleting stuff, because I actually don't have any accessories. So let's go ahead and equip 2 of these, where we can equip another one there, and then we have this one here that I can go ahead and delete. So that is fun. We are now a little bit more well equipped. Which the end of this episode has been a little bit hectic, but I want to do one final thing, and this is kind of an interesting thing, where I want to buy something on the gem store, because I got the 800 gems from the bug, and I've gotten some gems from other methods. I have spent a little bit of money on my Steam account, and I'll probably spend more money in the future, which of course when it comes to Guild Wars 2, you should be smart with your financial decisions, and you should buy only what you want to buy, and you should, take into account everything else going on in your life, and you should, think about your purchasing decisions. Or something that I personally really enjoy, and that I have had on my main account for a very long time, which I don't want to buy too many things on this account because I mostly just use it for like Let's Play content and whatnot. But I want to buy some things just to make our lives a little bit easier, where in the future I want to buy a couple of bank tabs, but I might wait for them to go on sale. And then we can also buy I'll probably buy another character slot expansion at some point in the future. But then we can also buy some material storage expanders, which I might buy 1 or 2 of on this account, just so we can stock up on some resources a little bit easier, and I can go ahead and just not have so much stuff in my inventory all the time. But I want to come back to the upgrades, and I want to buy one of these salvage omatics, which we have had the salvage kits that we have used in our inventory for a while now, and I want to go ahead and just buy one to permanently have, which is going to cost 3 copper every time we use the copper fed salvage omatic, which is the one that I like to use, where silver fed has its place where it does like different things, and rune crafter has its place where it does different things, and you can like really optimize like how you salvage things. But typically how I, as someone who doesn't really care too much, goes about things is I just use the copper fed salvage omatic on everything that is not rare or exotic, and then I'll use blackline salvage kits or sell the items straight up on the auction house if they happen to be rare or exotic. So let's go ahead and buy this copper fed salvage omatic, which when this episode airs, the sale is probably going to be over. I was trying to check when the sale ends, but it'll probably be over, but you can keep a lookout for that in the future, where we now have this on our account. And since I have bought expansions on this account, I can go ahead and put this in a shared inventory slot. So every time that we play Guild Wars 2 on any one of our characters on this account, we'll have this copper fed salvage omatic, which we can go ahead and use, and it's so nice, if I do say so myself. Which I do have another slot here, which I can use in the future, but I have 2 level 80 boosts, and I'm going to wait to use these boosts because I want to like basically walk through what they are and like kind of what we see used with them in the future and whatnot for advanced players. So we're going to hold off on that, and then I can think about what I would want to throw into the other slot here, where really I just want the copper fed salvage omatic at this current juncture. But this might have been a very long episode. I'm definitely cutting a lot of stuff out as I just completed a bunch of random tasks. But I enjoyed completing through the story, and I enjoyed completing the Uncanny Canner achievement a lot, and just progressing our character and our account a bit. But I hope y'all enjoyed watching, and I hope y'all are taking good care of yourselves. Remember, as always, to drink some water, check your posture, and subscribe. And I'll see you next time in the Road of Tyria. Goodbye.